Hey everybody, welcome back to The Road Less Traveled. My guest this week is my good friend Brian Hicks. He's an artist, a graphic designer. He started his own t-shirt company in high school. He's a jack of all trades. How you doing, Brian?
Good. Thank you for that introduction. Beautiful.
Before we go into more detail about your art and things like that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
My name is Brian Hicks, 21, from Lowell, Mass. Born and raised, and I am also an athlete, as also an artist, which is very unusual, as I've found out.
Oh, what sports do you play?
Currently, right now, I play, well, no, not really play, but I do cycling at my school. It's the one varsity team at RISD, so...
And RISD's the Rhode Island School of Design.
Rhode Island School of Design, yep, that's where I'm currently at.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you first got your feet wet in the art world when you were young?
Didn't really, not until I would say sophomore year of high school did I get started. It was more of an interest in computers than it was in art. And I tried to sign up for a programming class at LOI, like a coding class, but I don't know, budget cuts or something didn't allow for that. So I got stuck into a graphic design class, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'll just do this, seems kind of fun. And after like a year, I took another class in that, kept going, the teacher was really good. I just kind of kept pursuing that throughout high school. By senior year, I was really like into it, really going. I had like 4 classes in just art and graphic design, preparing myself for college and to get ready for that. And I was doing a lot of shirts for not only the clothing scene, but also for like track and other things like that.
For your team?
For the teams, yeah, for like sports that I played with. I did a lot of their t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing one of Brian's shirts right now, one of the first shirts he printed. Bought it back when we were in high school together. It says Sneeb Clothing on it, and this is still one of my favorite shirts. So when did you decide that this was definitely something you wanted to pursue as you graduated high school?
Well, I guess that's kind of when it was when I graduated high school. It's tough, being in that age, and you're forced to make the decision what you want to do with the rest of your life. I mean, all that I wanted to do then was just play soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for a D3 school, but that's all that my mind was at. Like, I just wanted to play soccer, and so I invested so much time in high school into the sports and into graphic design because, it was fun. It was easier. It wasn't English, which sucked, and it wasn't any of those classes. So I kind of had some talks with my mom about, like, I'm just not sure if this is like where I should go. Is there any money there? Am I gonna be able to support myself? And I would say my mom was really supportive in saying that, this could be like a good thing to go into if you really like it and you can do this. And so I would say she's definitely like helped me along the way, looking for schools and looking what to do with my future, because at 18, that's a tough age to decide what you want to do.
Yeah, you're still a kid then.
Yeah, I would say like graduating high school and looking for a college. I decided to go to art school instead of a regular college. And that was kind of the deciding moment of where I was like, I'm gonna go with this career or this path right now. At least that's where my mind was at. So
it's not the conventional, pre-med major or accounting or anything like that. So are you nervous about what you're gonna do after you graduate, or you're going full force ahead?
Yeah, I feel like right now where sort of society is at or the world is at, I feel like it's not that uncommon. There's a ton of art schools and a ton of graphic designers in need, and a lot of jobs for that. So it's not totally uncommon. It's definitely not as common as, say, like a lawyer or something like that, which has a lot of history. But just like society's changing, times are changing, and this is sort of like just a general job that a lot of people are going to be going into.
All right, so Brian bought a really big bag actually, of some of his work from the past semester. So Brian, I'm gonna pull out, there's a ton of things in here, so I'm gonna randomly pull out 3 things, and I want you to tell me about each one, all right?
All right, so this is sort of a rip-off of my school's logo. It's supposed to be RISD, and these sort of curls and stuff is part of the original logo. When I first got to the school, they kept like trying to instill into us to take risks, whatever you're sort of doing, wherever in life, I don't know, that was just sort of the main thing, make sure you take risks. So I thought it was kind of funny and cool.
So what's this? Who's this guy?
This
His
is
mustache.
FT Marinetti, and he's the founder of Italian Futurism. This is a poster I did for History of Graphic Design class. It's about his work Zang Tum Tum, which was the manifesto for Italian Futurism.
Oh, this is perfect. What's this? Why'd you make this?
This is a letterpress print, a little old-fashioned form of graphic design, and made this just bored one day, a little bit homesick. Gotta represent my city.
Of course, it's the point of the show. I wish we could just have a ton of these hanging up in the background.
Yeah.
So like, what's your usual process? I mean, these are 3 really different kinds of pieces of art. So how do you go about making something like that? Is it something similar for each one? Is it totally different?
Totally different. Depends. I mean, one was a class assignment, one was sort of self-assigned, and one was sort of just messing around with letters. And the I am from Lowell was just like I'm bored one day in the studio or in the type shop, and we're just doing that. But I mean, all of them are different, and it's really just about doing it, and not about thinking or anything really. Just you have to do it. You have to do the work. You have to make a lot of work, and continue to make work. And through making work, you'll come up with something new, I think.
Yeah. Do you think your original interest in all those different sports that you played kind of led to your attraction towards graphic design and art, in that you don't, like when you're on a field or on a court or whatever, you don't really think, you just do what you have to do in the heat of the moment, and you just get better by just practicing.
Yeah, I think some forms I've sort of made them like blend over into it, but a lot of people I would think would disagree. But for me, it's definitely just like hard work is sort of something from sports that I brought over, every day, waking up early and just continuing to work at it, and that after a while it will come through.
So you're graduating soon. Have you started thinking about what you want to do as far as a career goes? Are you still thinking about it? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's definitely on my mind. Not totally sure. I mean, just spent 4 years on this graphic design thing, so I should probably stick with that for a little bit at least. But there's definitely a lot of things that I'm interested in. I mean, I just love athletics, and I would love to maybe have that be part of my life somehow. Maybe have more than one job. Maybe have the graphic design as sort of the day job, then also be coaching or some sort of fitness person. And then I would also like to get into music, and I love cooking, and I like to do all this other stuff. So like I would just like to sort of do a ton of stuff and not just have one job.
Yeah.
I would also like to love what I do and just never retire. I'm trying to tell my parents that. They don't agree. They're ready to retire, but I would like to either continue to change jobs and never become uninterested in what I'm doing, and then continue to work till I'm dead, pretty much. Because like, what else are you gonna do? Sit in a nursing home? I think like Steve Jobs, of course, is like a leader in that. Sort of you should love what you do every day. Of course, there's like ups and downs, but every day you should really love what you're doing.
This interview's making me just question my whole life right now.
No, seriously, it's like pretty deep though. Thank you so much, Omer, for having me on the show.
Of course, thank you for being here. You were a great guest. Loved all your answers. Really you actually taught me a lot today. Alright, well, anyway, I just want to thank you guys again for watching The Road Less Traveled. Just give it up for Brian, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, if this was like without any cutting, it would be a little awkward.
Yeah, if it's live TV,
or something,
If it was live, I would.
I mean, but it's good to practice, do a little research on
So,
me.
yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
No, but that book by Barbara Walters, you should look for it.